Hands together for our presenting partner, PC Jeweler, powered by Satyabama University, celebrated by the iconic Volkswagen Beetle, in association with our wellness partner, Organic India, gourmet partner, KRBL India Gate Basmati Rice, insurance partner, the New Age New India Insurance Company Limited, trophies by JLP, Jewels by Preeti, radio partner 94.3 Radio 1, and startup partner Signature Startup Accessories. Ladies and gentlemen, our very first introduction is about a lady who is the reason we are here tonight. If only she would feature herself in this list. This outstanding woman has been with Outlook Publishing since 2007. With over 20 years of experience in financial research and business journalism, she was tasked with the relaunch of Outlook Business in 2012, with a decided focus on enterprise, strategy, and markets. Hers is the brain behind multiple marquee titles, one of which is the Outlook Business Outstanding Women. Under her tutelage, Outlook Business has grown to become the leader of business magazines in India, leaving behind international titles like Forbes and Fortune. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the editor extraordinaire of Outlook Business, Ms. N. Mahalakshmi.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to have all of you at Outlook Business Outstanding Women. This is a very, very special moment of us, and I extend a very warm welcome to each one of you for taking the time out and being with us. During my college days, I used to be mesmerized by all the women in business: Lalita Gupte, Kalpana Morparia, Naina Lai Kidwai, Rama Bijapurkar. And the girl power at ICICI particularly made me feel if there was one place women really had a chance to make it right to then it was banking and finance. Back then, entrepreneurship itself was at a very, very nascent stage, and men or women didn't matter. If you didn't belong to an affluent family, your chances of starting something on your own and accomplishing something in 3 to 5, 7 years was like a Herculean task, unimaginable. Now that scene has decisively changed. And we have so many entrepreneurs, and particularly women entrepreneurs, have really thrived in the last few years. That's the reason we as media thought it was important for us to bring all these wonderful women center stage, celebrate their success, because they are the role models for millions of aspirant women entrepreneurs. I'm happy to have all of you here. So let's all put our hands together for these wonderful women, take inspiration from them, and also applaud their success. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to share the stage with these outstanding women today, this evening. We're not only here to celebrate their success, but we're also here to understand a little bit more on what makes them so successful and how they overcome challenges as they go about building their legacy. So I'm going to start with you, Hemlata. When you have an audacious dream of building the Tesla of India, how do you go about breaking the stereotypes of that the stereotypes that women don't belong in manufacturing and the auto industry is capital intensive? So how do you go about breaking stereotypes while you build that audacious goal?
I think that there's nothing called that you can't do it. Even when I attempted to do it, my mother was the first one who said that definitely don't come back, and I don't think you can succeed. But I think you just have to move on, right? Once you just get what you wanted to, you have to just stay put on the path and get it going on the goals. That's very generic. But then I think manufacturing is something that I was just very intrigued. How come, why women are not coming into manufacturing? That was the thought that first came. Then I just did a little bit of research and analysis, and I found that it was completely male dominated. Completely, even in production lines. So even in our factory, when I wanted to put women workers on the assembly line, my general manager said that no, women will not be suitable. So I think I saw him as a bottleneck, so just removed him actually. Because it will not work, because I think we just have to move on. So I don't think that, of course there are stereotypes, but I think you just have to see that and you just have to remove it and you have to just keep going, number one. And number two is that what I found is that, there is tremendous support available in the ecosystem. I think when people look at you, they look at that this lady is not going to give up, I think people will support. And I think for us, I think it was extremely fortunate that we decided to do in a place where there are a lot of enterprising things happening, and stereotypes can be broken up by the leader, and I think you have to be at the front and you have to lead by example and you have to execute on the ground, and then I think things will fall in place.
Great. Gloria, you were all of 19 or 20 when you started Make a Difference with your co-founders. And from a small team of 12 volunteers, today it's the largest student network, volunteer network in the country. And now you have your second organization as well, Guardian of Dreams. So I want to know what drives you to kind of align so many people behind your vision, and more importantly, how do you sustain the momentum that you've created?
I think what drives me are two things. One was when I was just 19, I think I experienced or saw things that I cannot forget, which is that I actually went to a shelter home and saw what a lot of the children in India do not have. And being young and being idealistic as I was then, it was almost an outrage internally for me that if this is happening in the world, then I need to play a part in kind of equalizing that. So I think that experience really stuck with me. It still does. The second is, I guess, as we work, or as my team started working with children, we noticed how much of a difference we can make if they are given some support in the early years of their lives. So the second one would be a vision of a more equal society. These two things is something that once I started off a decade back, I never could wipe away, and that's exactly what drives me and my team. So that's basically it.
And speaking of purpose, Ashni, when most of us whiled away our summers doing nothing, you helped your father open stores across the country. So I want to know what you learned from your father, who's built a hugely successful retail empire.
I think I learned almost everything that I learned intuitively, watching him, watching a lot of our colleagues put up stores. For us, stores are the temples, retail is the religion, customer is our God. And this understanding came to me in my early days in school. I think I learned from him the ability to understand that there's only one person that matters in our business, and that's the customer. That's the most fundamental thing I think I learned from him.
And was there something that you noticed and brought to the attention of your father? Because I understand you all, used to watch shoppers come and do.
Oh yes, I mean, most of what you see in terms of the small little nuances, the softer side things that you see at a big bazaar or any of our stores may just have a bigger contribution from me than my father. But so lots of small things. I think as women we have the ability to feel, we have the ability to listen, to see in a more empathetic way, and those things one can definitely bring about in a consumer-facing business.
Okay. Tara, you also have an iconic entrepreneur in your father. So what are the qualities that you admire in him?
Macaroon Queen, Love 15 Patisseries, Executive Chef Miss Pooja Dingla. Apart from this beautiful trophy, which will adorn some very special shelves, we have something extra special for each one of our winners tonight. Our fantastic ladies have been scripting their success stories with passion, dedication and flair. To add an extra quotient of style to their script, what better than a Montegrappa pen? One can find the Montegrappa pens on the desks of presidents, royalty, the Pope, and even world-class sports and fashion celebrities. The Outlook Business Outstanding Women can get to take home a writing instrument passionately crafted in original Italian style.
Sure, thank you so much for this honor. It's really exciting to be here and have your work appreciated. Big shout out to my parents there, because without their help and support, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. And that's all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Since its launch 8 years ago, the company has supported 132 unique fellows, created 12,000 jobs, and reached more than 1 million beneficiaries through its ventures. Her vision is to have 10 independent, unlimited affiliate incubators across the country that together will form a network supporting 500 enterprising social change makers. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together in welcoming to the stage the next Outlook Business Outstanding Woman of the Year, Ms. Pooja Warrior.
Thank you. Wow, life as an entrepreneur is definitely a roller coaster. I just spent 3 days with a set of auditors trying to explain what I do and why it's important. And today I'm here endorsing Beetle and wearing PC jewelers. So clearly, but thank you so much for appreciating the work that we do. A big shout out to my wonderful husband somewhere, without whom I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. So thank you.
Before you go, you describe yourself as a very stubborn human being. What is the hardest impediment to your startup story that maybe you could very quickly share with us? Your biggest challenge that you faced and how your stubbornness saw you through it.
So I remember this one conversation, this is early on when I started out, and I had started 2 things at the same time, 2 ventures. And I was having a conversation with a big donor, who could come on board. And he said, Pooja, you can't pull both of these off. You've got to give up one of these. And I was so angry that someone was telling me I couldn't do something that I wanted to do. And in a typical, when I get angry, I cry as well. And I think that totally threw the funder off. It's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. This woman started crying. But I was just so angry. And I said, I kind of took a moment and said, I respect your opinion, but I'm never going to let anybody else tell me what I can and can't do.
Say I can't do it and watch me prove you wrong.
Exactly.
Exactly. Her company, Map My Genome, founded in 2011, offers predictive diagnosis and prognosis through DNA testing. The company raised 1.1 million in a pre-series A funding round earlier this year from Google and the Singapore Angel Network, amongst others. Her dazzling enterprise, Genome Patri, can be described either as a scientifically validated horoscope for health or a personalized genomics profile. Please welcome on stage founder of Map My Genome, Ms. Anu Acharya.
Thank you, first of all, all for this great honor. I think there are two things that are driving me. That 1 out of 6 people in this world is an Indian, and we need to have genomic equality in this world for that. The other thing that drives me is that 1 out of 2 in the world is a woman, and we need to get equality, whether it's in innovation, science, or any other field that we choose. So I'd like to thank everybody else, all the scientists and people who took us to where we are today in the field of genomics. But more importantly, I think to my team, one of them who's sitting here, Pooja, but the rest of everybody else who's made Map My Genome where it is, my family who supported me, and everybody else for taking the Genome Patri test. And if you haven't, please do.
Anu, gene studies are a new and rather exciting, controversial topic. What is your view on the impact these studies will have on the future of mankind?
So I think it depends on what you can do with technology. I think sometimes technology is inevitable, so you can't prevent it from happening. But I think as human beings, I have faith in humanity that we won't do everything wrong, and there are enough checks and balances that will keep us intact. So I believe in the good of humanity. I think we'll be able to make best use of it. But it's important that all of us understand that there is a need to be able to make sure that we use technology in the right space. So things like CRISPR and others are a little scary at this point, but so were many other things that we thought were going to be scary, but they weren't. So I think that's my hope, and that's where the future will take us.
Anu, before you go, just because you are an extremely cool lady, I'd like to take a selfie with you on this Twitter mirror, if I may. I'm going to come there.
Please, that'd be great.
Rohini Iyer. Firstly, I have to say you look like a rock star.
Thank you.
You're just amazing. How are you feeling right now, and what would you like to say as an acceptance speech?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody here at Outlook Business for putting up such a rocking show. Normally I do it, and these guys have done a killer job. Okay. And to begin with, I'd like to thank the most important person in my life, the woman who taught me how to be outstanding, my mother, who couldn't be here. I miss you, Mom. I really, really miss you. She heard about this event, she heard about the list, and she was like, break a leg for luck, and she broke hers.
Oh dear.
So she couldn't be here, but I miss you. And a big, big, big shout out to the people who make me who I am, my team, all of you at Media Raindrop, everyone, you guys, thank you. They are the wind beneath my wings. Thank you, guys.
Before you give away that mic, if you don't mind, a quick rapid fire. I'm going to say a few names, and you say the first word that comes to mind when I say that name.
Okay, I'm politically extremely incorrect.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what we're looking for.
Teach them how to be correct, but I'm not. So here you go.
Okay, here goes. Farah Khan.
Mehuna.
Salman Khan.
My favorite person.
You're being very politically correct even
No,
now.
I'm not.
Karan Johar.
Coffee.
Alia Bhatt.
Selfies.
Sushmita Sen.
Rocking.
Rocking.
Universe.
Universal. Well, thank you very much. Before you go, I'd like to she's a rock star. I have to take a photograph with her.
Thank you.
an easel on stage because you have graced the cover of this special
Aishwarya, Encha Ullar. No.
Okay.
But I can do this much for you. I can learn 10 words. 10 words in Tulu for you. Okay.
Saukya, thank you. I didn't know she even knew one word in Tulu. Thank you.
Irullar Aiki Yan Saukya. Injida Yan Pincha. Api Nabaki. How does that sound?
Bit of it on the dot, a bit of it, I didn't get the last bit. So you were going to tell me, I got that.
Irullar Aiki Yan Saukya. Ijinda Yan Picho Api Nabaki.
Sweet, sweet. Thank you.
Okay.
So she said, if you're fine, I'm fine. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure.
At this moment, I'm so tempted to say you're gorgeous. I'm just wondering, everybody, every day must be saying this to you. You're beautiful, Aishwarya. You're looking beautiful. You're looking gorgeous. You're looking stunning. What do these words really mean to you?
People who have worked in putting this together. So that kind of invites it. But thank you for your generosity. I'm not quite sure this happens every day, but professionally, on professional platforms, like I always say, it's there's a team of people great professionals who work together to doll us up, so kind of it's got nothing to do with me. I'd like to believe this has something to do with me, and I'm grateful to you and the Outlook Group for being so generous as to recognizing the work that we do, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to everyone through you in the interview that you so wonderfully did with me, Mahalakshmi. And that means a lot because I think to get to share who we are and what we do with the world at large, you play a large role. And you have us connected with our well-wishers. And that's where the voice matters because a lot can be lost in translation if there is some kind of a lack in understanding here. So thank you for communicating with such clarity and allowing me to do the same through you and your publication.
Tell me, what do you do to keep looking good all the time and keeping fit? Because I find it quite remarkable that after Aradhya, you still look so youthful, so fresh, so girlish. Isn't it tough?
Being girlish is easy, having a lovely little girl like Aradhya in my life. That angel keeps, I think, having an angel in your life keeps the child in us alive forever, and I'll forever be grateful to God for this blessing called Aradhya in my life. And I don't quite attribute looks to that because that's not the way I view myself or life. I mean, I get it that I guess that's where it largely started and that's the way the world tends to talk about me. But it's about who we are and who we become and the people that we become thanks to our experiences. And by far, the most precious experience of my life has been Aradhya thus far, and I'll forever be grateful to God for that.
If you were to, you've already been called the most beautiful women, amongst the most beautiful women in the world. If you were to rate yourself on a scale of 10, how much would you give yourself? Come on, give me a number.
Who did the rating to begin with?
Sorry?
Your question began with, you've been rated. So I said, who rated to start with? Certainly not me. I don't believe in that. For me as an individual or any of us sitting here, it's a wonderful evening where so many ladies have been celebrated, have been recognized, and kudos, congratulations. Thank you for having me been in fine company this evening. And I think that's what we are all about, rather than any kind of barometric scale, not by anyone else's measure and nor our own. We just need to feel good about being the best version of ourselves every waking day in our life. And it's important that people in our lives or whose lives we touch feel that way. And I think that's what makes, gives more meaning to the precious gift of our own lives.
It was politically correct. And you're being
That's me. No, I'm not diplomatic. I'm not diplomatic. I'm not politically correct. I think, thank you to my parents. I've been well brought up.
Tell me, who have been the most powerful influences in your life?
Well, there again, even if it sounds cliched, I think our strongest influences will always be our parents, at the risk of sounding like a cliche, but that's who makes us who we are. That's why we exist. That's because of whom we exist, our parents. And they're the first people we're exposed to. They're our teachers, our guides, and the reason we become who we do. Of course, life is the greatest teacher, and so is experiences, and everybody who touches our life thereafter. But the roots, parents, and I definitely not just know, but I believe that they are and have been and will continue to be the strongest influence in my life.
You've done your best in modeling, you got the best title, you have done it in Bollywood, in movies, in films. What motivates you now? What drives you every day?
Okay, interesting because you can externally find reasons and attributes, and I know people will be expecting me to say, and a very strong influence today in my life is Aradhya, But in terms of motivation, I think it just comes from something never changes, in the sense that it's your basic sense of commitment to whatever you take on. And when that's your basics, that remains the core for the rest of your life. I don't think, I mean, that's where the beginnings are, and that's where the continuity goes on. It's all about that basic sense of ethic, integrity, and commitment. And it would be wonderful and make for glorious answers standing
short
here.
questions.
With finding other attributes, but it's really as simple as that.
Sure. In this lifetime, you're gifted with both beauty and intelligence. In the next lifetime, if you were given only one, what would you choose?
Wow, you think far ahead. Let's get through this one. And the journey has been pleasant so far, and one huge learning curve, and I'm glad on it. Looking forward to what else is in store. And let's meet in the next lifetime and we can have a chat.
Sure. Apart from you, whom would you rate as the most beautiful woman? And you can't name your mom, you can't name Aradhya. So the enemy.
Well, then let's take this occasion, like I said, again, to applaud every lady sitting in this room. You all have been justifiably celebrated. And yet again, thank you for having me being in your fine company this evening. Congratulations again, and God bless.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Beautifully said. And big round of applause for the very beautiful, not just beautiful, but beautiful from inside as well, Aishwarya Rai.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay,
all.
now I'm not going to let go of this opportunity. We have a Twitter mirror. And day before yesterday, I made your father-in-law pout on stage. So now we're not going to make you pout. We're just going to make you look your lovely self. We're going to have the three of us in the picture with three of you at the back. She, along with her husband, Dr. Murray Johnson, under the guidance of her father, Colonel Dr. Jepiar, took up an initiative on space research to design and develop a nanosatellite with the mission of population monitoring. Director of Satyabama University, Dr. Maria Zina Johnson. Would you like to say a few words?
So good evening to all of you present here. To make a few lines, we started Satyabama University initially in 1988 with 100 students. Now we spread around 25,000 students. That is the hard work. But this 2016 has been wonderful for me because in January I received the 100 Women Achiever Award from the President of India at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. In June, I wouldn't say, I want to remember and forget June because I lost my dad in June. That was on June 18th. Just 3 days after his death, I was standing at Sriharikota to launch the Satyabama satellite, the first ever Indian satellite to be launched by students in India. So I dedicate that to my dad. And that was again a month, July 18th, called by the Prime Minister of the country, Sri Narendra Modi, and he met the entire team and receiving Niti Ayog's 12 Women Transforming India just a month back. And here standing with a lady of honor. But I would say to all the women out here, never limit yourself for some people with limited imaginations on you. Take a step forward because it's your life. When it comes to any initiative, give your best. When it comes to your nation, be the first. Thank you so much.
What beautiful words, and I'm sure these motivating words resonate with a lot of ladies sitting over here. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Dr. Maria Zina Johnson.